Welcome, everyone. It's the Circle Debate Podcast, top 5 picks of the week. Here for week 51. This is the host of Devious One, Ivan C. Here with my familia, the West Side faction. And of course, we are the Horsemen, but the other one is currently sleeping or at work. I think he's at work, and that's oh no, he's getting ready for today, for Rebellion today. That's what he's doing. He's getting ready for, for the
process.
Getting the process ready for the next level consciousness, Matthew Steamboat. But yes, once again, it's the host, the Devious One here with the one and only. He is a director, and his breakfast is brought to you by Pepsi.
Fuck yeah, man.
That's the breakfast of champions right there. And of course, we have the man with the plan, the king of Sting, the master disaster. He's all around money, Mike Lopez. See,
good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's a nice day. I'm an early bird, so I'm looking forward to recording this early.
As you can see, technically, Chris and I were not early birds.
It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday in California. This is when I go to bed. I work graveyard shift.
Yeah, this is technically where this is my only days off that I'm actually able to do.
But I do it for you guys. I do it for the viewers.
And we do it for our audio, platform listeners as well.
And the listeners.
That is right. So once again, this top 5 picks of the week. It is our top 5 U.S. champions. Doesn't also have to be WWE. It can be WCW and also NWA. So
I went back the entire. There's I think over 75 champions.
Oh my God! Tell me about it. Right, like even with NWA, it was difficult for me to pick certain individuals. But I had to pick only one. But we'll find out now. Let's go with the winner names. See who goes first out of us three here. So let me go ahead and share my screen for a moment. All right. Oh, don't forget it. In theaters now. Godzilla Kong.
I can stream it at home. I got that HBO Max free trial, so I'm watching all this. I'm watching all this stuff for free in like 1 week.
By the way, did you guys like Mortal Kombat?
I got feelings. I got mixed feelings.
Oh, we could make an entire episode about that.
We could do that. Hey, actually, I don't hate that idea, Mike.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. We could actually do that. I'm first. Fuck. Shit.
Roll it. I mean, think about this. I mean, I don't know. Mortal Kombat has its ups and downs, but only thing I could say is they're trying something different, in my opinion. They're not going based upon what it was back in the other story.
Yeah, we can. I actually do kind of like having that as an episode. So, Mike, let's put that in our pocket.
I'll say this about Mortal Kombat. I actually think that they went more with the source material than what we had in the movie from the 90s.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Gonna have to argue that one in the episode. If we do it, because I grew up on that. I read every lore book and magazine front to back, so we can talk about that. Let's go with my list.
All right.
So, like I said, there's over, I think, 75 champions dating back to my birthday, but not my birth year of January 1st, 1975. 1998, WCW had like 6 or 7 champions. They just could not keep that thing on one person for whatever reason. So it was real hard to pick the defined criteria with which got you on my list. I kind of had to go with prestige of the title and then how long your reign was and then how many times you held it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the best I could do to come up with it. And my number 5 was someone who came up kind of out of nowhere. He kind of grinded his way through a field of names that were already established. And he was one of the few homegrown WCW talents that didn't come over in the WWF Exodus. And he was High Five. Bang! Diamond Dallas Page, number 5.
Okay.
That was his first major title, and he had gotten into the business late as it was. So he worked his ass off to make his way through that roster, which was full of like Hogan's and Outsiders and Lugers and Bret Harts, and just kind of good guide his way right through the cracks of NWO to the top of that division. I was a fan per se. Like I didn't not like DDP for any reason. I loved all of his variations of the Diamond Cutter, but him having that first world title and basically being a no name at the time, fantastic. Good little story right there. My number 4, I give all credit to anyone who's ever the first of their title reign, and that's Harley Race, the first to ever hold the title back in 1975. He was already an established wrestler and world famous before that title. So putting that title on him as the inaugural champion definitely set the precedent of the prestige of that title. Harley Race is just legendary, just fantastic pioneer of the game for sure. Number 3, it doesn't get more prestige than this. The guy can dress, the guy can talk, he can ride in limos, he can bang 19 women in one limo ride. That is Ric Flair.
Woo! 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 Woo!
Yeah, man, Ric doesn't get bigger than Ric Flair. Ric Flair is probably one of the biggest heels of all time. And anytime you put on a belt on him in any company, I think he had this in NWA and maybe a few WCW runs, you're going to get heat. Putting a belt on a champion it literally becomes a heat magnet. And he was the king of heat his entire career. My number 2 and my number 1, man, this was weird because I had to figure out really why one of them was 1 and one of them was number 2. Number 2 is very similar to the DDP story, but he had started up in a tag team. He had come up with his brother in WCW in Harlem Heat. He had established himself as a very respectable singles wrestler, and he had one of the greatest best of 7 match series with Chris Benoit of all time. They did a 5 of 7 for this title. He went on to win it in WCW and then held it like 4 more times when it got converted in WWF. And that is Booker T.
That's right. Did you say that?
Yeah, I like Booker T on his. I like Harlem Heat too, man. Their Harlem Hangover was a sick finisher, but when Booker T went singles in WCW, I was like, oh shit, this guy's very likely the future of wrestling, and I see him kind of, becoming a big name, and I really wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
Number 1, because number 2, you guys know who my number 1 is, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the guy can work. When he does go full time, he can work. That open challenge was a thing of beauty. The greatest on the mic, the biggest merch sale of all time, and you can't see him, and that's John Cena. I'm sorry to the fans. This is what I believe.
No, you're not wrong, bro.
John Cena is just a workhorse, man. And he can wrestle. I think that the whole Roman Reigns, John Cena comparison, when they were feuding, people really got to appreciate how good John was in all aspects of the game when they compared him to how bad Reigns at the time was. But having at least 2 or 3 title reigns, the open challenge, which I don't know if it's the first time anyone's ever done an open challenge, but it set the precedent for other promotions and title reigns to do it. We're seeing it now over with the Dynamite Championship. Cody had it. Cody literally just stole the gimmick and had his first open challenge where he didn't know who was going to come out of the back and defend it immediately. John Cena started that, and I thought that was a thing of beauty.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
100%.
I do have some honorable mentions this time. Honorable mentions. He's one of the first people to hold it, I think, 3 times in WWE, and he's the current United States champion, and that is the fella, Sheamus. He won it with that beautiful bro kick to a moonsaulting Matt Riddle right in the chin. Oh my God, the timing of that was. It had been done before. I know Adam Cole hit Ricochet with the super kick on a backflip in midair, but the bro kick, this was just turned Matt inside out. Took the title from him at the last WrestleMania. I think it's his 3rd title reign. I like Sheamus, man. They sometimes don't know what to do with him, but I think this is the right move for right now. And my second to honorable mention, so many gimmicks have been carried off of this character. Not only have his children become legends, but people have actually taken the gimmick and ran with it, and that's Blackjack Mulligan, the second NWA champion, and I think held it like 5 or 6 times. Probably the most of any title holder. I have to look up specifically.
I think
Blackjack Mulligan is a Wyndham. His kids are Barry Wyndham. I think Kendall Wyndham. Is there a Kendall Wyndham? I could be wrong about that. Is
Barry?
Yeah, there is a Kendall. Hell yeah. Barry, Kendall, and Stephanie. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. I mean, even JBL when he was starting out, the Blackjacks had come back and just straight up just took the gimmick. I mean, I'm sure there were permissions granted, but a legendary pioneer, I think, held it as many times as anyone else, and old school as it gets, but a huge influence on that title for sure. And that is my list.
All right. I love it. Of course, I don't hate you number 1 because it's the truth. It's a fact.
Yeah, it just is. It's a true fact.
It's a true fact because we'll see who goes next, and then we'll discuss more details. Let's see here. All right, back to the wheel. Oh, look what awaits you.
2 for 14 on weed cleaner. Is that like for your eyes?
Oh, money.
Mike. All right. Then we get okay. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna go ahead. Right. This is not the top 5. This is Mike's favorite U.S. champions.
Okay.
This is what this list is.
I get it.
I do not have too much of a awareness or knowledge of like the NWA version of the title or WCW version. So I'm going to go mostly with WWE, mostly with what I know. So number 5, I'm going to start with Chris Benoit. If I get bleeped in the version that is uploaded, it's because
it's
WWE censored it.
Professionally.
Does YouTube do that automatically?
No,
That'd be crazy.
So this guy, I mean, of course, professionally, and we're talking about U.S. championships, right?
He's Canadian.
The challenge, I don't even think it was a challenge per se, an official challenge, but he kept beating Orlando Jordan within 20 seconds or 23 seconds, if I remember correctly. He won it in 23 seconds, and each title defense he had against him was shorter and shorter and shorter. I forgot what the final number was, but I always remember that being memorable and entertaining, and that's what puts him in my list, to be honest. And of course, the best of 7 series. Wait, was it him? No, it was not him.
Benoit and Booker T.
Oh yeah, okay, Benoit. Yes,
I that was the reason I tuned in every Monday on Nitro for like 7 weeks straight. I would flip between the channels to watch, like, if there's a commercial break, I'd go to the other one. But no matter what was on Raw, if that best of 7 was on, that's the one I was watching.
But let me ask you this, though, because there was 2 different versions of it. There was a WCW one, best of 7s of Booker T and Benoit, and now they recreated it on SmackDown.
Right.
Which one you compared? Which one can you say was the best 7 series, in WCW or in WWE SmackDown?
I would say the WCW.
They did it twice.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. If you go back and if you go look at it,
to go with the original one because
that
one was
the groundwork for sure.
Yeah, they did, definitely.
So number 5. Number 4, I have Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
This one, yeah. And shout out to the wrestling guy who has challenged me to another debate coming soon. So yes, Daniel Bryan, this kind of started the heel persona, I feel. It was the infancy of that character, which ultimately led to everything that happened after. But I feel like the U.S. title served the purpose in that people got to see, people who had not seen Daniel Bryan with a singles title got to see him with that, and kind of opened the doors for everything else that came after that. So, there you go. Daniel Bryan, number 4. Number 3, Rusev. Man, one of my favorite all-time entrances was him showing up in a tank, at WrestleMania 31, and it was so cool. Like, it was just a cool visual to see that whole entrance. And I remember up to that point of him losing that title, he was unstoppable. He was just taking out people left and right, and I would definitely say a dominant United States champion. So one of my more memorable ones.
Oh, and for him too, inside the tank was the most memorable one for him too. Before he started the match, him and Lana got busy before the match even started.
He said that?
They both said it. They both said it, that they were busy in the tank before the main match started. That was their WrestleMania moments for them.
Naughty Rusev and Lana. Number 2, Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
I remember watching No Mercy 2003 when they introduced the United States Championship in WWE, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I was so invested in that match, and I wanted I wanted Eddie Guerrero to win. And I was in a sports bar at the time, under 21, and I was able to watch it there. And yeah, everything was electric, and everybody was going for Eddie, and as was I. And yes, awesome. Again, same thing with Daniel Bryan. It laid the road to everything that happened after with the WWE Championship. I remember when he won the United States title, the SmackDown after, he came out from the crowd. There was confetti and everything. It was kind of like a light version of the celebration he had for the WWE Championship. So the title served that purpose of showing people what he could do as a singles champion, right? Yeah. Not that he needed to prove anything, but definitely laid that groundwork. And number one, of course, John Cena.
Oh, thank God.
John Cena, yes. Don't think I was gonna say Goldberg.
Oh shit! Imagine you would have said that.
Imagine. Nah.
Oh my God.
John Cena, man. It's been imitated even today. John Cena with the open challenge. It was fun to watch. You didn't know who was going to come out of the curtain, right? So yeah, very cool stuff. And at that point, John Cena had already had a United States Championship, right, run. So he didn't necessarily need to go back. I don't know whose idea was it exactly, but for him to have another U.S. title run and to give it such importance and elevate it in such a way after being world champion multiple times, I think that really speaks of how important this title is to John and to everybody there, right? So definitely number one. I only have one honorable mention, and it's the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! Obviously, this man, styles, profiles, won the United States title. You have these guys from the past that make this title prestigious. You have names like Ric Flair, Harley Race, and you build up the legacy of the title, and it starts there, right? So, Ric Flair, honorable mention. So I only have one.
Okay. I love it. I definitely love it. Well, look, my number 5 is almost similar. It's pretty much almost like everybody's similarities. But I'm probably missing a couple people here. You probably guys never mentioned. So I'll need, okay. Number 5. Since, Chris didn't mention about the Mulligans, well, who kept that tradition going for, being a reigning U.S., champion NWA? Of course, Barry Windham. That's another great, incredible guy that had great feuds with Ric Flair, with Greg Valentine, with Harley Race as well. I mean, he had incredible feuds in NWA, back and forth, winning that U.S., championship. Number 4, another one that actually, in my opinion, if you go back and look at it, he had incredible feuds with Ricky Steamboat. He had other feuds as well with Lex Luger. And this is stunning Steve Austin when he was the U.S. champion in WCW. So, I mean, he made that title prestige as well, being a little bit known. So, okay, I love that. This is when he hit the blonde hair. Before, I think this would be, before Hollywood Blondes or after. I don't remember. But, yeah, definitely, like, Austin did a great job as, singles U.S. champion, and great feuds that he has. Great matches with Ricky Steamboat, especially for that championship. Of course, Booker T. Can't go wrong with Booker T, number 3. I mean, you guys said it all. I mean, there's nothing much for me to add on. What he was the greatest, one of the greatest U.S. champions, and for both territories, besides WCW and WWE. Number 2, why I mentioned this individual, because even though his title reign wasn't much, but what he did to that title meant something, and you just wanted that, you just wanted someone to beat the shit out of this guy, because why you're champion? And that is none other than MVP.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Carlito. Exactly on Carlito.
Yeah, I don't know. Me too. But I feel MVP did a lot with that championship. I was the U.S. champion, especially. Oh my God! Especially that his 7 games was Matt Hardy. Like,
Right.
oh my god, I remember that. Like, all the
He
basketball
just had
game.
it too. He just won it back on his return, like in the past year too, right? Yeah.
No, he never. You know what? He
What
challenged
belt
for
did
it.
He was holding on to it, but he
Yeah.
didn't win it.
Yeah, he never won it.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
never won it.
I believe you. That's crazy. I mean, I just have visuals of him like challenging or being challenged for it recently. But yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, you got to give it to MVP, man. He was most hated heel at that time in SmackDown with the U.S. Championship. Besides Cardi, I mean, I want to give Cardi, his credit too, but I feel MVP made it more like, just I don't know. If you go back and you're like, oh my god, someone just take away this belt from this guy, man. But hey, that's the whole point of the business: make people hate you, and then he did a great job for it. Of course, number one, you guys said it all best, is John Cena. I don't think there's anybody that could top what he's done and taking that creative idea. I guarantee he was the one that went to Vince. Look, Vince, since right now I don't want to be in the main event. I don't want none of those title runs right now. Let me work on this belt. Let me challenge everybody every week. Give me something different. I want something fresh. And he did an incredible job doing that. Bringing like Sammy, even KO with, just so many different, interesting people that he was surprisingly challenged, and I loved it. I wish Cena, before he left, would have had a run with the Intercontinental. He could have done the same thing because he's still not a Grand Slam champion. He's missing that Intercontinental Championship. He's never won that belt. He's been a tag team. He's been a U.S. He's been a world heavyweight. He's been a WWE champion, but he's never, ever won the Intercontinental title. And also, if you go back, you see Seth Rollins try to do the same thing. Roman didn't. Roman doesn't know what to do with, say I'm not a Roman fan, but I'm talking about his character, ladies and gentlemen, not his persona. No, his character. But yes. I have 3 honorable mentions. Benoit, of course, was one of them. Absolutely. You guys, said it down. You said it correctly. DDP is another one too. Love him as well. I want to give this last honor to this because it was recently mentioned that he was diagnosed with ALS, and that is, Wahoo McDaniel. I had to give him his biggest moment in his career when he pinned Jeff Jarrett for the U.S. Championship at WCW. He got the biggest pop ever. This is a former football player,
right.
Winning a championship. So I'm giving this honorable to him. Even though, like I said, people will clown him because, he had botches, all that. But I got to give that man credit. He went from a professional sport to a different professional sport and make the best of it. And I hate and you got to give what credit's due, man. And then was the biggest highlight for his career. Shout out to Jericho for donating and everybody else who's donated to, his funding for, since he was diagnosed with ALS. So, and wishing for the best for him. And hopefully, he gets better, gets the best treatment out there. And so those pretty much on my U.S. list. I mean, we almost had everything the same except for like MVP. I should have added Cardio too, but I was debating between the Cardio and MVP. But I don't know. I felt MVP won me more over because he was more hated.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So now let's go to the Wheel of Picks and find out what is the next top 5 for week 52.
I love this. I love the wheel, man.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Let's spin that wheel.
Spin it a little faster.
Come on, where's theme songs? Best food fights.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh, celebrities in wrestling.
Oh,
Best or worst or what? Can we just make it up? Can we
We can do that right now. You guys want to do best or worst?
Do you want to do the list right now, or what are you talking about?
No. What type of the best
How about we
celebrities?
just leave it up to whatever we want to do at the time. I guess.
So
I don't know.
best?
So best or worst?
No, I mean, like, if you want to mix your list, like, if you want to put, like, I have, this guy on here because he's the worst, and then the next one is like, this guy's the best. I don't know, man.
We could do that.
Well, the good thing is that we could do 2 episodes, right? Or there 2 episodes could be made of this: the best
Yeah,
and the worst.
That's a great possibility as well. Yeah, that might be easier.
I mean, I'm gonna make my list the worst because
you can put
trust me.
because even if you make it iconic, it would only be like I guess the best. I don't know because
honestly,
then
there's
really
more worst than best.
yeah, because there's some really great heel celebrities and there's some really bad good guy celebrities, you know. So like, and I mean bad like not entertaining or terrible at something. So fuck yeah, 2 lists might be the way to go.
That's tough for me. That's a really tough call, but
Leave a comment section below. Let us know what you guys want, the best or the worst.
There you go. You guys want the best or the worst celebrities in wrestling? So I mean, I don't. We could split. We could do it all in one. Very easy because I mean, there's nothing much to explain about. It's just what you like, you know, and people will agree or not on it. So, I mean, we'll figure it out.
We will.
We will figure it out.
We debate even our debates.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in here on Top 5 Picks Week for Week 51. Don't forget also to tune in later on tonight. Of course, Impact Wrestling Rebellion, as we will give our thoughts about that for next week's episode. And I'm looking forward to see, are we going to see the next level consciousness walking on with all the belts, being the belt collector. It already has, 1, 2, 3. This will be his 3rd ring, pretty much. You know?
I heard an interesting theory that Callis and Good Brothers are going to turn on Kenny Omega and officially declare war on AEW. So
I like that.
I like that.
I had a dream last night that like Gargano and Ciampa invaded AEW, and I was freaking out that Vince finally broke that wall. But alas, it was only a dream.
So only a
We'll
dream.
find out.
That really happened though. I just remembered that as you were talking about Impact. I was like, oh shit! I had a dream that there was a run-in during a AEW main event, and like they attacked Moxley and Omega or some shit. I was like, that'd be a great idea.
Right? Oh my god! But if that does happen, man.
Woo-wee!
Oh my
Those would be the
god.
2 to do it too. If you get DIY in there versus Omega and Moxley,
Oh my god! Right? That'll be something epic. I can't wait, man. We cannot wait. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And also don't forget as well that next week episode we will talk, recap AEW Dynamite, NXT. There's nothing much to talk about on Mondays, man. Just only Elevation. That's it. AEW Dark Elevation. That's all you can. That's it. Nothing else. There's nothing else to talk about. No Raw. So. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. It's the host Stevens One IBC here with the one and only El Director, the director of all directors, CK1 Chris Kennedy, and of course, he is a master disaster, the king of Sting, the man with a plan, money, by God, Mike Lopez. See, that's why you got to do money, Mike Lopez. Sending you guys good day or good evening all over the world who are watching, who are listening. We'll see you soon.